Welcome back to the show, guys. What is up? We are here. We are back with another episode of California Mother Effing Sober Podcast, aka Combat Sports and Cannabis, aka Get High and Muy Effing Thai. I know it's been a little bit. I kind of didn't post anything. I didn't record last week, and I've been not making as many clips lately. My car broke, so I tried fixing it myself. Found out I am not that type of man. I cannot fix cars myself. So I got a VW specialist looking at it right now. Sounds confident. Hopefully I'll have my car in a few days. I mean, basically I haven't had it for like almost 2 weeks now, but here we are. But yes, we are here to discuss UFC Fight Night 264. I am your host, Mo, and we will be breaking down the fight card. Also going to touch up on the issue that's been going on with the UFC betting scandal. Didn't get to speak on it last week because, as I said, I didn't record. Thought about recording just on that one subject, but it kind of like slipped me, and I just kind of been mostly was just been with my car lately. But let's touch base on the UFC betting scandal. So first things first, right? The situation with Isaac Delgarian. He fought Yadir Delvilla on November in a featherweight matchup. Isaac came in as the betting favorite, right? Everyone said he was going to beat him. Everyone said he was going to mollywop him. A few nights before the actual fight, new bets started coming in. A bunch of action started going towards the other way, saying Isaac was going to lose. This alerted, there's like a watchdog that the UFC uses for their betting. I can't remember the name of them. I think it's something 310 or something. I something 310. I don't know. This alerted them. They then went and contacted Dana White personally, to which Dana White then went and personally contacted Isaac. He saw him about 2 days before the fight. He basically spoke with Isaac personally. He asked him what was going on. Are you in trouble? Do you owe someone money or something? Isaac told him no, he didn't know what was going on with the betting and all that. And he basically said that he's thoroughly confident he's going to beat his opponent and it shouldn't be an issue anyways. The fight night came, and what we saw, honestly, it looked like a rigged fight to me. Dude, Isaac fought like he was an amateur. There was no urgency, no defense, no effort. The announcers, they weren't privy to the whole issue going on with the betting thing. UFC did a good job of keeping it hush-hush. I don't even think I found out about it till the day of the fight or a day or two before the fight. But the announcers had no clue. Daniel Cormier, he was one of the announcers. Who's the other guy I can't remember the name of the other guy. Let me ask my assistant. Who were the fight announcers for UFC on November 8th?
At UFC Vegas 111 on November 8th, the commentary team featured Brendan Fitzgerald, Dominic Cruz, and Paul Felder, while Joe Martinez was the ring announcer.
Why did I say Daniel Cormier? I have no clue why I said Daniel Cormier. Exit that out. I'm retarded. But I think it was Dominic Cruz or Paul Felder, the one that was saying like, damn, this guy looks like an amateur. He brought it up like twice. I had the clip there. Not bad, bro. Daniel Cormier, bro. What the fuck is going on? Why did I say that? Black man. Anyways, so the announcers didn't have any clue what was going on. They kept commenting on how bad Isaac looked, right? He loses the first round via rear naked choke. I don't know. It looked weird, bro. It looked weird. To me, it looked suspicious. What I thought was even crazier was the fact that the UFC even let this fight happen after they were alerted by the company that they used to oversee the betting and all those things. They went and they came to the UFC. They told them like the integrity of this fight, it's not good. It doesn't, this isn't good. It's suspicious, the whole reason the UFC uses these guys is to prevent things like this. And yet the UFC, they decide to still keep the fight going instead of scrapping it. I didn't think that was a good move on Dana's part. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but 2 years ago, there was another betting scandal. It was with Derek Maynard. He I forgot which fighter he had that was fighting, but there was this issue where Derek Maynard was caught. Allegedly, he was, from what I remember, he was selling UFC secrets, like when people would get injured and things like that, and he would sell them to people so that way that they can make more informed bets. But insider knowledge, I believe, is what it was called. So Derek Maynard, he got banned from the UFC, and then anyone that trains under Derek Maynard's team is banned from the UFC. So obviously, all of his fighters left. Isaac was training with Derek Maynard. This was years before that happened, but still, he trained with Derek Maynard. So that just seems sus. It could be a coincidence. I think not. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I just like saying that. I don't even remember where I got that from. I don't know, man. It's a sticky situation. It's just all bad for the UFC. I think personally, they should just leave betting out of the UFC, dude. Honestly, I think the main bet's like, okay, you can bet like, is this guy gonna win versus this guy, right? But then all these weird side bets you got to get rid of, bro. There's too many weird side bets and parlays and all that. Obviously, this wasn't like a parlay or a weird side bet, but I don't know. It's a bad look, I guess. It's weird because I know in Thailand they're really big on betting, so I don't know, man. I'm mixed. But we could have a conversation about that one day for sure. My thoughts. The UFC needs to take this more seriously, honestly. Like I said, they have this watchdog that they use. They're informed. They decide to keep going. If you're going to allow betting into the sport, you have to regulate it, right? You have to make sure things are going good. You got to make sure people are being honest, right? Like I said, I don't like the betting in the UFC, but that's just my own opinion, you know? But yeah, let's get into it. UFC Fight Night 264. All right. For the first fight I want to talk about, and as always, it's not really in any particular order. I'll generally try to keep it lined up with how the fight lined up, just because that's just how I like my mind to work. But I'm going to be jumping around. The main event's still always going to be the last one. But first fight I want to talk about, Ricky Simón versus Raoni Barcelos. This is a good fight, man. I mean, it was a very exciting fight. Ricky Simón, shout out to Ricky. He trains in Washington. He also cross-trains over at Team Oyama with Gianni Vasquez. Gianni Vasquez has been on the show. He's the champion at UNF currently, trying to get into the UFC, which I saw him. Actually, he was in Ricky's corner. But yeah, this is a bantamweight fight. Raoni Barcelos, he's coming in at a 20-5 record. Heavy striker, great boxing, solid takedown defense. Loves throwing power combinations. Cannot take this guy down. Like he doesn't even. He's Brazilian, but he likes to box. I think he has like 3 submissions, but like I said, he likes to box. Even his stance is very boxing heavy. Ricky Simón, he's coming in at 22-6. He comes from Team Oyama, trained with Dami Cormier. That's probably why I was thinking Dami Cormier, because I remember I was typing this up. And anyways, yeah, he trained with Dami Cormier for this camp. He's a well-rounded fighter overall. He's got great boxing. That's kind of his main bread and butter is his boxing. And he has really good wrestling. He takes people down great. Good jiu-jitsu as well. Beautiful footwork. Honestly, if you watch him, the way he slips, the way he throws his head movement is great boxing, dude. He's fun to watch. And he relies a lot on his jab. Round 1. It was a good close. I wouldn't say it was that close, but it was a competitive fight. You know, Ricky Simón, he edges it. He basically edges the round out. He used a lot of head movement, slipping and dodging Barcelos' bombs. He controlled the range, and he even got on top position towards halfway through the round, and he basically landed a bunch of ground and pound. Honestly, this dude, Ricky Simón, when he gets on top of you, he freaking drops hammer fist, bro. But yeah, round 1, I give it to Ricky just off the edge. Like I said, he did really good with his footwork, with changing stances, really good with slipping and bobbing. Barcelos, he's really powerful, but he pretty much likes to throw his combinations in 2s. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Ricky was just doing a good job at slipping off that first and second and then returning on his own or getting on the outside, or like getting out towards the outside. It was a good fight. Goes towards Ricky though, for sure. Other thing I'd like to note, Barcelos, he had the reach advantage. It was very apparent. He had the power and the reach advantage definitely on his side. Ricky Simón, I would give him, he had the footwork. I think he might have been a little bit faster, but it really didn't matter because when he would hit Barcelos would just eat it and come forward. Round 2, Barcelos comes out swinging, throwing everything with heat. Every shot he throws is at 100%. It's crazy because he doesn't get tired and he swings like hard as hell. He landed some good uppercuts, dude. I think in the beginning of in the first like minute or 2 of the second round, he kind of slipped one of Ricky's punches. I don't know if it was a jab or something, and then came across with a rear uppercut. And dude, it looked like it hit or hurt Ricky. Yeah, and then Ricky kind of slowed down a little bit in that second round. Barcelos was able to time him better because he slowed down a little bit. I don't think he was tired. I think it just from taking all those shots, dude. Honestly, Barcelos throws hard. Can't exchange with that guy, man. Cannot exchange with them. In my opinion, I think if I was in Ricky's corner, I would have tried to told him to start using his legs more, you know. Barcelos, he's got a heavier hands and he's got more reach. Playing the hand battle is just, it's not a good idea. You know, you're playing to his strength. If I was Ricky, I would try to use more kicks, right? Start and end your combinations with kicks, right? Start with the kick to open yourself up to get on the inside. And then as soon as you're done with your combination, end with the kick, a low kick, anything, you know, teeps, you know. The reason for that is your kick is longer. So if you start with the kick and you see Barcelos comes in, if you're using your left kick, you have a little bit more time to react and move out the way. If you throw that right kick, you can turn your head with it, dip off. If there's no counter, then you can come back up and start your hand combinations. And other thing too, because of the way that Barcelos fights, he has his head hunched down a lot. He's very crowded, or not crowded, but he's just very tight and hunched over. I think Ricky should have started slamming body kicks that he could have brought up to the head and probably would have helped him out in that second round. Round 3 though, both guys came out to win. Each corner knew they were up around, so it literally both fighters started in the middle of the octagon, and they both were just fighting to keep control. Ricky's footwork came back. He was moving again, strong. Barcelos, he started timing him, cutting him off, doing angles. Honestly, Barcelos started opening up more with different strikes. He was still throwing ones and twos, but now he was throwing kicks, punches to the body, knees and stuff like that. He really started mixing up. The first 2 rounds, he mostly just used his punches, But yeah, he used his power, his durability just stood out more for Barcelos, and Barcelos landed just a little bit more cleaner shots, and and he finished strong. Winner was Raoni Barcelos via decision. Good fight. Recommend you watching. I'm not going to try to spend too much time on these because I try to do this as short as possible. I'll include clips. It was a good fight though. It was a good back and forth, pretty evenly matched. I'd love to see him go again one day, maybe when they get higher ranked. Ricky Simón, he's always someone I like to watch. Good stuff. Primarily because Gianni's the boy, so I support my boys. You know what I'm saying? You gotta support your people's dog. Yeah, dude. Like I said, if I was Ricky Simón, he's a pretty good fighter. He's a complete fighter, but I just think he needs to be more dynamic with his striking. He kind of relies too much on the punching. I get it though, because if you're gonna do all those slips and rolls, it's gonna be hard to punch and kick because your feet are gonna be planted and they're gonna be wide. Maybe just work on when to switch your stances to kicking stance and punching stance. Overall, it was a good fight though, but I really think kicks would have helped him negate a little bit of that power disadvantage. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was a good fight. Next fight I want to talk about, we got Chris Taco Padilla versus Ismael Bonfim. Chris Taco Padilla, friend of the show, is gonna get him on one day. We interviewed his cousin Gu a couple episodes ago. Chris Padilla, he's coming out of Gardena, California, local hero. He's a lightweight. He's got great fight IQ. Honestly, he adjusts very well. He comes in with a good game plan, very calm. My dude trains a lot, dude, and he's always getting different looks, going to different gyms. But yeah, he's a good fighter to watch. He's coming in with a 16-6 record. He's currently undefeated in the UFC. This is his 3rd fight in the UFC, so he hasn't lost once in the UFC. Bonfim, he's coming in at 20-5. He's a heavy boxer. He's fighting out of Brazil. He actually missed weight by 5 pounds. Padilla took the fight though, like a gangster. I think they took 30% of his purse or something. It was 30 or 40%, which is cool. I agree with that. Bonfim's younger brother, I can't remember his name. Was it Ismael? No, is he Ismael? No, he's Ismael. I can't remember his brother's name, but he's got a brother. He is fighting the main card tonight, so we'll talk about him at the end of the segment. But yeah, heavy boxer out of Brazil. Everyone, I knew a little bit about this guy. I knew he was gonna have a lot of hands, great combinations, good power. He's got good jits and stuff too, but his boxing is what I remember the most about him. But round 1, Bonfim came in hot. He opened up the round with a flying knee right off the bat. Padilla stayed calm. He adjusted well, put his hands up to high guard, and just started chipping away with low kicks and threw a couple teeps. He would kind of, in that first round, he used a lot of that right leg. He would low kick to the calf, teep down the middle, body kick, low kick. That low kick really, that calf kick is really what was butter for Padilla, Chris Taco Padilla. The other thing that was working really well with them was just keeping his hands up. Freaking Bonfim throws some bombs, and he throws some bombs and combinations. They come at you in 3s and 4s, and each of them is hard as hell. Chris Padilla, the second he got touched, he said, okay, I'm not going to make an adjustment. This guy hits hard, and he has a lot of combinations. He immediately glued his hands to his face. The whole fight, he's literally fighting like this with his hands to his face. It's not comfortable, and you're going to sacrifice a little bit of range, right? Because you're going from here to all the way out here. But it really didn't matter because his game plan was to throw a lot of kicks anyway. So you can do this and kick, still use your legs. But yeah, that first round, those low kicks, he landed a few of them on that first round. Round 2, Padilla just kept hammering those low kicks. Bonfim, he just could not adjust to those. And I think in the second round, I think the second or third low kick, you could see like that they really started to hurt Bonfim. He kind of like took a step back. He stopped being aggressive, right? That first round, he kept pushing forward. That second round, he was not pushing forward at all anymore. Now he's like going against the fence, walking backwards. Padilla was just doing a great job at just landing those low kicks. Another thing too is Bonfim was getting tired, you know. He was wasting a lot of punches on Padilla's guard. Padilla, he lands a good knee towards the end of the round in the fence. Bonfim halfway towards the end of the second round. He drops Bonfim and he just starts swarming him. Honestly, just starts hammer fist, shots to the body, shots to the head. In my opinion, I felt like it went on a little too long. The ref could have stopped it, but Chris Padilla, he gets the stoppage round 2 via TKO. Great. It was a good fight, honestly. I knew going into this fight, I had confidence that Chris Padilla could win, but I thought it was going to be a much more challenging fight. It's good to see that he's won. Maybe they can give him someone that's, you know, in top 15. I don't think Padilla's ranked at all right now. So yeah, top 15. Let's see him go. Fuck it, give him the champ. Let's go. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it was a good fight. Shout out Chris Taco Padilla, man. California in the house, baby Gardena. Let's go. Also, dude, the crowd that was chanting for Padilla was crazy. And I think this was at the Apex in Vegas, so it's not too far from California, you know? So they're out there in full support, that's for sure. I think I'll take this time to celebrate. You know, my boy got a dub, so let's smoking on some gas. I think we got some garlic junkie right now. That's what I've been stuck on lately. We just got some new strains in at my work, so we'll be testing some new stuff. You'll be hearing me talk about some new stuff in a bit. All right, next fight we're going to talk about. This is a heavyweight match. Max Gimenez versus Josh Hakt. Josh Hakt, he's coming in with the 6-0 record. This dude was a showman, man. He walks out with an American flag do-rag and sunglasses on. Shouts out. He gives a shout out to Chael Sonnen, right? Because I think they call him like if he's trying to be like the bad guy or something. He gives a shout out to Chael Sonnen, right? The only thing that was missing, honestly, was the Bud Light. I would have been like America or Budweiser, whatever them white boys be. Or I'm sorry, take that. Whatever them people be drinking. But yeah, Josh Hakt, he's a former NFL player, and he was also an All-American wrestler in college. He was a dual sport. He was a 2-sport athlete when he was in college. I don't know much about him. I just heard a lot of hype because of the NFL thing. Didn't really hear much about his wrestling, but one thing that I would note is like this guy, he is the epitome of like this new generation of fighters coming up. I feel like we're starting to exit the age of the martial artists joining like fighting, you know, and we're starting to see more athletes get attracted to fighting, because there's like, you've never had like, every once in a while you'll come across like a good athlete in the UFC or something like that, but for the most of the time it's like these lifelong fighters or something like that, or people that like are really into fighting, right? All the athletes are attracted to like football, baseball, basketball. There's just a better future in it. There's more accessibility like with school and all that, and just parents get behind it. Now, because the UFC is becoming such a household name for MMA, you're starting to see these like athletes come up, and it's just interesting to see them come up, because you got to understand, like, these NFL players are not training the same way the UFC fighters are training. Maybe some people are, like, if you're like a TJ Dillashaw or something, but these are like people that are more science focused in their approach to training, right? It's like they have like doctors looking at them, and like all these people with degrees that are telling them how to work out and how to work out, you know, diet and all that. So I think that he comes from like that group. I don't know how far he was in NFL, but I'm sure, I just have a feeling that he took that same approach with fighting. But anyways, both fighters that are heavyweights, are they light heavyweights or are they heavyweights? They are heavyweights. Yes, they are coming in as heavyweights, and this is both their UFC debut. So first time under the big lights. Gimenez, he's coming in.'s got a 6-1 record, by the way. He's a more traditional fighter. He started off grappling for a while and then got into striking, but he's really known for his grappling. And even Hakt, he mentioned how he was going to try to stay away from his grappling just because he knew there was a gap in that, even though he was an All-American wrestler. Round 1, Gimenez looked very technical early on. He was landing low kicks like crazy, bro. Like, he landed so many, bro. They were sending Hakt's leg flying backwards on more than one occasion. He switched stances on more than one occasion. But Hawkins, like I said, that athleticism, bro, he basically, he was fast, bro. When he would throw his hands, it was like hard to even see him for a heavyweight. It's like, that's crazy. That's a crazy gift to have as a heavyweight, because they're already going to be naturally big and strong, right? So having that speed, that's that thing that like Brock Lesnar had that other heavyweights didn't have, you know? But yeah, Hawks, he gets his leg tore up. He somehow gets backs Gimenez against the cage. And as Gimenez is trying to exit, Hawk starts throwing bombs, bro. He lands across, he drops him, and he finishes him with some combos against the cage. And that's it. Fight is over. It was exciting, man. Like, honestly, Hawk, he just has power and speed. It looks like when he touches you, you go down, and he's athletic, bro. So I'm curious to see if he can carry that all the way through. We didn't see a lot this fight. So I'm curious to see if he can carry that speed and power like all the way through the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds, you know? Because if he can, he might be able to shake up the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division doesn't got a lot going on right now. I know they got like that. I mean, you know, obviously we saw Gon and Aspinall, but you know, other than that, I mean, there's a couple cool fighters. You know, I'd like to see a Josh Hackton and Derek Lewis or a Tai Tuivasa. That'd be a good fight. But yeah, Josh Hack, he's the winner. He wins via KO. You know, heavyweight, man. Oh, by the way, my thoughts on Josh Hack, like I said, I think he could shake up the heavyweight division. I'm excited to see him enter the space. Curious to see how he trains and what his approach is to martial arts. They have like the same MMA record, by the way, so it's not like this was like Hack's first MMA fight. He's at 7-0 now, but he was 6-0 going into the fight. But yeah, curious to see what he brings to the table. But moving on, Muslim Salikhov versus Uroš Medić. Muslim Salikhov, I like this fighter. He's cool. He's like 41 years old. He's chill. He's just here to have a good time. He's got freaking bombs in his hands. He's a southpaw, I believe. So when he touches you with the left, you go down. He swings strong. Kind of has that Ukrainian type Russian boxing style. You know, stays light on his toes, in and out type. But yeah, this is a welterweight fight. As I said, Salikhov, he's 22-5. He's got a 22-5 record. He's 41 years old. Russian veteran. Big power. He touches you, you go sleep. Big power. Medić, he's 11. He's got a MMA record of 11-3. Don't know much about this guy. Really don't know much about him. But I do know he's from Alaska. And Alaska is crazy. It's dark for like half the year. You know what I mean? There's like a time where it's just permanently dark for like a couple months out of the year, and then permanently sunlight for like a couple months out of the year. It's a crazy time to live. It's a crazy place to live. Makes hard people. I already know this guy's going to be hard just based off the fact that he lives in Alaska. But yeah, round one, you know, Medić takes the center. He's a southpaw. I can't remember. I thought Salikhov was a southpaw, but I might have been wrong. I might have confused him. I can't remember now. I think actually Salikhov is not a southpaw. I think he can switch stances, but I think he starts off with his left hand out with right hand in the back, orthodox. But yeah, Medić takes the center of the octagon, you know, basically pushes Salikhov back just with pressure, and he ends up dropping Salikhov with the cross early on. Fight is over. Salikhov drops to the ground. I can't remember if there's any ground or pound that followed, but that was it, dude. First round. Like, I think he got done in like 2 minutes, dude. I heard the announcers talk about how this was the 9th first round finish for Medić. What a freaking monster. I mean, dude, you know, what can I say, man? This was a welterweight fight, so I'm excited to see what welterweight has for Medić. Curious to know how old he is. I don't think he's that old. He might be in his like 30s or something, but I don't know if it matters. I guess it does kind of matter, but yeah, Medić monster winner via KO, Uroš Medić. Yeah, next fight, Matt Schnell versus Joseph Morales. Man, I think I'm just running through the quick ones, but yeah, this is a flyweight fight. Joseph Morales, he's a crazy grappler. You know, he's coming in with the 14-2 record. Like I said, everyone knows him for his grappling. He is freaking like a spider, man. Once he grabs you, you have no chance of standing up. You have no chance of of spinning out or anything. He's just a lot of top pressure, man. And he's just chest to chest the whole time. And then Schnell, what was the other guy's name? Schnell. Don't really know much about Schnell, so I didn't really put anything. I probably could have done some research, but whatever, dude. It happens. So, yeah, first round, Morales immediately pulls guard. There's a scramble. Kind of looked like he was going to be on the bottom, but he somehow ends up on. I think there's a scramble, and Schnell gets up, and then Morales is still on the ground, and he like spider monkeys him. I don't know what to call him. There's a word for it. I can't remember. But he ends up grabbing his leg, and he basically takes him down, grabs his back. You know, Schnell kind of like turns over and transitions to with his back to the mat, and Morales basically pulls him onto a half guard pulls him to side control. He then puts him in a crucifix. quickly and easily. Like, it was so quickly and easily how he put him in the crucifix. Hits him a few times. My hat's off to Schnell. He remains calm. He ate a couple strikes, nothing too hard, but he waited for the right time. He spun out, so he basically exited, pulled his left arm out, and started working to fight Morales' legs to pull his other arm. As he was doing this, Morales turned with them and puts him in a guillotine, locks the legs in so he can't so Schnell can't move over to side control to clear it. Basically gets the choke. Winner via guillotine choke. Textbook BJJ. Exciting BJJ. Honestly, I talked on the grappling. I don't hate the grappling. Bro. It's cool. I did it. It's fun. I just don't like the boring grappling. This was interesting. This was very fascinating. Morales was changing positions. He was attempting submissions, right? The crucifix. There was from the side control to when he took the back to side control. It was exciting, and I like that movement, activity. Joseph Morales, good man. But yeah, this next fight, bantamweight fight. I'm sorry, dude. I'm kind of running through this again. Next fight was the bantamweight fight, guys. Miles Johns versus Daniel Marcos, bantamweight. Marcos basically dominated, dude. He dominated Johns. I mean, he controlled the fight everywhere. He took this dude's back. I think it was like in round 2, he took Johns back, and he basically finished with a rear naked choke in round 2. I'll keep it short and simple. Winner, Daniel Marcos via rear naked choke. And honestly, if he didn't even get that rear naked choke, it wouldn't have even mattered, because in my opinion, he was pretty much like controlling the fight the entire time. I think he could have probably beat him in the striking as well. He seemed to be a lot bigger. Honestly, he was a lot bigger than Johns. Remember correctly, yeah, Daniel Marcos, he seemed like he was bigger. He could have maybe possibly gone up a weight class. Johns just could not fight him off, dude. Once Marcos grabbed him, he couldn't get him off of him. The reach advantage was in Marcos's. Was going towards Marcos. It just, I don't know, it was a bad fight for him, but it happens. It happens to all of us, right? I guess not me, because I'm not in it. It happens to everyone. I'm gonna throw in a female fight just because I feel like I have to talk about female fights every so and again. I'm not sexist. I'm really not. I just don't watch them a lot because I don't know what's going on. I know the big female fighters. I like watching them. You know what I mean? But this is a pretty cool fight, and I enjoyed watching this one. This one was against Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Jacqueline Cavalcanti versus Mayra Bueno Silva. Cavalcanti is Cavalcanti. Why can't I say that? I'm like, hi. And my mouth isn't working. Oh, the lights are going. Cavalcanti. So Cavalcanti, she's coming in with a 9-1 record. She's the former LFA champ. I like LFA. I think was that Scott Croker's. I don't remember. They were cool. I think they're still around too, by the way. But LFA is cool. Silva, she's coming in with the 10-5-1 record. She is a Contender Series alumni. Round 1. I mean, Cavalcanti, she came out looking sharp, man. She was switching stance, mixing kicks and elbows, punches, just overall clean Muay Thai. Really, what was kind of confusing Silva a lot was the stance switching. You know what I mean? Cavalcanti would like throw a combination, switch to southpaw, throw another combination, and go back to orthodox, or she would just throw a combination into the opposite stance and keep it going. It was crisp. It was beautiful. Good technique. First round for sure went to Cavalcanti. It just seemed like Silva couldn't get her reach. She didn't do much. She kind of just stood there for the whole first round. Maybe threw a kick or two. Round 2, Cavalcanti kept the pressure. A lot of volume, high mixing, a lot of high volume, a lot of mixing combinations. Not a lot of power, but she's really accurate. Round 2, even though Cavalcanti was winning, I felt like not a lot was happening. I mean, she was doing a lot, but she could have been doing more, is what I want to say. Dude, Silva was just standing there eating it. If I was Cavalcanti by round 2, I would have put the pressure on her and just try to finish it there. I'm not sure why her corner didn't tell her to just go in for the kill, but whatever. They made it to round 3. Round 3, Cavalcanti, she slowed down a bit, but she still dominated, By round 3, she for sure could have finished it. I don't know why she didn't pull the trigger, and I think that this is one of the reasons why I don't want to say anything mean. How can I say this? I just feel like the female divisions haven't had the time to develop, right? Because you've had the male version of the UFC has existed forever, right? They barely started letting females compete in, when was it? It was pretty recent. Let's ask chat, man. Let's ask the chat bot. When did the UFC have its first female bout?
The UFC had its first female bout on April 13th, 2013 at UFC on Fox 7. This was also the event where Ronda Rousey defended her bantamweight title against Liz Carmouche, making it a historic moment for women in MMA.
So, so it's still newer, and I just feel like they haven't had the time to go find like the top, like more talent. Like, I think the other problem too is just females don't get into that space as much. So it's like harder to go find them as well. But it's okay. I think it's going to develop. It's going to get bigger, and the females are going to do better. It's not like Cavalcanti did anything wrong. She won that fight. She had the better technique. I just wish she would have went in for the kill. That's just my only gripe with that. But it was a good fight for her. I think she was ranked number 11, and Silva was ranked number 10. Hopefully she gets that number 10 spot. I think Cavalcanti showed enough to crack a top 5 fight, you know, but that's just my opinion. That was in the women's bantamweight. Let's see who's in the women's bantamweight division real quick. Just curious. Oh, is that Kayla? That's Kayla Harrison's. So the women's bantamweight division, that is Kayla Harrison is the champion. Juliana Pena is number 1. Raquel Pennington 2. Norma Dumont. Caitlin Vergara. Yana Santos. Okay, let's have her fight. Dude, I mean, if she cleans some things up, bro, she could honestly have a top 5 fight. And, you know, who knows? You know, if she honestly just steps on the gun and tries to finish her fights more, she probably could be in top 3 easy. Honestly, one thing I noticed about Cavalcanti was she just doesn't torque her body enough, dude. When she throws her strikes, she's a little bit more up. She stands up a little up high, you know. It's cool for range and balance and all that, but I think if she were to torque her punches over, like when she goes to punch, like turn her cross all the way over, turn her hips over, torque her upper body more in the opposite direction, I feel like it'd give her just that little bit more oomph to like really like be able to finish her opponents or at least send them backwards. It'd be more exciting, that's for sure. She's very crispy clean. Let's just work on being a little bit more stronger, you know, and hitting a little bit more harder. Maybe not make it just crispy clean, you know, pick and choose when to be clean and when to kind of like swing hard and sloppy. That's what I always say, hard and sloppy, baby. Let's get it done. Cavalcanti, good fight. I mean, good fight for her. Jacqueline Cavalcanti. She wins via unanimous decision. Main event time, baby. We are here to speak about the main event now. Randy Brown versus Gabriel Bonfim. Gabriel. I'm sorry, why am I saying Gabriel? I'm like smoking and reading at the same time. Randy Brown versus Gabriel Bonfim. He was the brother of Ismael Bonfim, who lost to the homie Chris Taco Padilla. Shout out Chris Taco Padilla. You can assume they have a similar style, which they do, both very boxing heavy. But this fight, Gabriel came in. He fought different than his brother, bro. He fought the opposite. He fought the way that his brother got taken out. Curious to know if Gabriel saw how his brother lost to Chris and like implemented it against his fight. No, probably not. Because Randy Brown, he's a top fighter, so he probably planned on using low kicks and stuff to win. So, but anyways, so Randy Brown versus Gabriel Bonfim. Gabriel, he's ranked number 14. This is a welterweight fight. Bonfim, he is coming in as an 18 with an 18-1 record. Brown's got a 20-6. Brown has a 5-inch freaking reach advantage, bro. That's noticeable. But Bonfim, he had a great game plan, bro. His plan was basically to use a lot of low kicks, bro. Try to nullify the reach with low kicks. I tell people, if your opponent is longer than you, if your opponent punches harder than you, then use your legs, baby. Your legs will help cover the distance your hands can't reach. Your legs are a little bit more, well, they're way more powerful than the punches. Be smart. Use teeps, low kicks, round kicks. Use them all, baby. But yeah, round 1, Bonfim, bro, he landed like 20 calf kicks in round 1 alone, bro. Brown could not adjust, bro. His leg was freaking, dude, like almost I think he only checked like 1 kick in that whole first round, bro. I think the problem was Brown was too confident, bro. He's too confident in he's lengthy and he swings hard, bro. So, and he knows that. And he underestimated his opponent, bro. He thought he could just use his range to kind of stay on the outside and throw bombs and be safe. But now Bonfim, he showed why he's got that number. Is it 14 or 15? He's got a number he showed why he's got the number 14 in front of his name, baby. He had a great game plan. He used kicks. Didn't really get touched too much in that first round. There's a few good strikes that landed, but not much. But yeah, that whole first round was all Bonfim and it was all low kicks. And honestly, he basically burned that fool's leg in that first round already, dude. Round 2, Brown was hesitant, man. He tried boxing but he just kept eating low kicks. He basically started working on his back foot, bro. Like in that whole first half of the first round, he was trying to apply pressure. And dude, honestly, Bonfim had a great game plan, dude. So Brown was applying pressure and he kept trying to march forward and throw just long punches. Bonfim would kind of like take a step back, and as Brown would throw, he would kind of slide back and throw that low kick on his way out. That way he tried to missing that punch, right? Because like I said, that's a 5-inch reach advantage. You can kick him and he can still punch you. You could eat your kick and still punch you, you know? So it was very smart for him to slide backwards and hit him with a low kick, something where he could stick his leg way, way out and still land. And he kept doing that, bro. There was just he just let Brown put pressure, slide back, kick, angle out. It was a good strategy, you know? In the second round, as you start seeing it, Brown started switching stances. He tried checking. He just couldn't find Bonfim. You know, he couldn't touch him. In that second round, though, there was a moment where Brown kind of charged at him. He threw a combination, and Bonfim freaking threw a knee to his face, dropped him, and the ref stepped in. He stopped the fight. You know, done. Some say it was an early stoppage. From what I saw, Brown's eyes looked like they went white for a second, you know, but I think when he hit the canvas, I think he was able to snap out of it. He put his hands up immediately. He showed that he was conscious and he was ready to defend. I can see why the ref stopped it. It happened so fast, and it's like you see one thing, and it's like we get to see the camera angles. We're removed from the crowd. I'm just sitting at home smoking some freaking weed, you know, drinking my coffee, hanging out. So I'm getting like a different look than what the ref's obviously seeing. I think he should have let it go on just at least like a little bit longer, but honestly, in my opinion, if he had let the fight continue, Gabriel would have just got on top of him and landed some ground and pound. Maybe Brown could have survived, but I mean, he wasn't even winning the fight anyways, bro. Honestly, let's be real. So, unless he would have figured out, I mean, he would have, now his face would have been hurting and he would have had no legs. And as the fight continues, those leg kicks, they start showing, you know. I don't remember. I think they did a count for how many low kicks, Bonfim threw in that fight. I can't remember. I do remember the first round was 20 kicks. I think he threw around like 30 to 40 kicks, dude, to be honest. But yeah, winner, Gabriel Bonfim via TKO round 2. What a redemption for the Bonfim family after his brother lost earlier that night. Yeah, Bonfim, interesting to see what's next for him. He's pretty crispy clean. I like how he, you know, would be interesting. What is he in the same? He's not in the same weight class as his brother, right? This is a welter. I think he's the same weight class as his brother, right? That was a welterweight. I think that is. Damn, I wonder if he fights Chris Padilla. Ooh. That'd be a good one, bro. He's ranked. But Chris Padilla, because it's Chris Padilla. Oh, he's not ranked, actually. Ooh. Yeah, possibly. Dana White, hear me out. But yeah, it was a good fight, dude. Gabriel Bonfim, he took it round 2 as good technique. I think he landed a head kick too at the end of, I think it was the beginning of round 2, actually, after all those low kicks. It was a good fight, and it really highlights how you work around an opponent that has more range than you, right? I think I'm going to leave it at that, you know, try to keep it short and simple to the point. That's the full breakdown for UFC Fight Night 264. Crazy night, big finishes. Not really a lot of controversies, a little bit, I guess. Mostly because of the scandal that's been going on. Is the UFC going to change how it handles the betting? I don't know. I think they might. I think you have to. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Follow California Sober Podcast. We're on all platforms. And yeah, we got some more interviews coming on soon. I'm gonna hit up Chris Padilla. I really want to get his interview, so I'll hit him up when he gets back. I think he's still in Vegas. Maybe I'll come out to his gym. He's in where did I say he was in? Gardena or something. Maybe I'll come out to his gym and do an interview there, train with them. I think it'll be cool. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm out. California Sober, baby. Stay cool. Can't say some other stuff because I'm trying to keep it PG, but stay cool, stay high, stay cool, stay doing it. Goodbye, everyone.